All right, so I'm ready to put my potatoes in, and these are the potatoes that I got. I got a couple different bags of Yukon Golds, seed potatoes. They're pre-packaged, and I got some from Walmart that had 5 and some from Rural King that had 7. And the price came out to the ones from Walmart are 64 cents a piece, and the Rural King ones are like 57 cents a piece. So that's not including tax. So go to Rural King if you want the Yukon Golds. And then I also bought about 6 pounds of just regular white russet type potatoes for the majority of what I'm growing. And these were 99 cents a pound. So overall in these potatoes that we're planting, we have about $12. Now I'm going to be planting these probably closer than you really should, but I wanted to try to go ahead and get 3 rows in this. I think last year I did 2 rows and some scattered ones in between. So first of all, I'm just going to kind of look for about the middle and just make myself a little trench. All right, and then I'm just going to divide the remainder in half. And that will put these about 10 to 12 inches apart from the rows. And I'm also going to do about 10 inches or so inside, laying them down. If you look it up, this is, yes, closer than what the rows normally are. I'm trying to get as much as I can in the small space and seeing what happens. All right, so since I just have a few of the Yukon Golds, I'm going to save them for the back little separate section there, and then just do the regular potatoes in this bed. And I don't really know how many potatoes that I have, but I'm just going to kind of space them apart, you know, about 10 inches or something. So I'm starting out about, 6 to 8 inches from this side wall here, and then, just not even measuring them, just kind of doing an about approximate. And I'm sticking them in all with the little eye part or the chit part sticking up, and that's all I'm doing. I'm not just laying them in this little trench that I dug, I'm also pressing them down into it just to make sure that they're deep enough, and then we're going to just cover this whole thing with some extra of the bagged soil that I bought. Look at that. One left. I'll see if I have space over there after the Yukon Golds are planted. Talk about nearly perfect calculating. All I have left is one of the regular potatoes, and I think I'll just stick it down here at the end just to see if it'll, do anything extra. All right, so there we are with our layout, and obviously the rows are closer than they normally should be, and some people will definitely cringe over the fact that I put all these weeds in here from the other bed, but yeah, this is what I'm going with, and just, doing some experimenting pretty much, and we'll see how this harvest turns out. Now, before I cover these up, I wanted to test out something I saw from some random channel where you put a layer of like wire fencing or some type of stuff over the whole thing, so when your potatoes grow up, the branches off the potatoes grow up through that wire, and then it helps them because they're known for just flopping over, and I experienced that last year, my first time growing regular potatoes, and so it kind of keeps them standing up and more organized around the bed here. So what I'm going to do is use these smaller, sort of like T-posts, but these garden posts, and just stick a couple on the end and through the middle and on the other end, and see if I can't get some of that same stuff over it. You can see how little those couple bags were. Obviously I got to spread it out, but yeah, it doesn't go very far. So I still got to mix a couple bags of this stuff. All right, so there's what we're looking like with our topsoil manure mixture spread out over top. Looks a little better, but now I just need to get that metal fencing stuff laid over top on these stakes. Probably have to use some zip ties. This might end up being a little tricky. You know something I did just think of though? I think maybe I will wait and just if I would have thought of this 30 minutes earlier, it would have been helpful. But I think I'll still be safe if I remove these stakes and kind of put them a little further out. And what I'm going to do is similar to how I'm trying to trellis my tomatoes this year, and that is to have like your utility line string just wrapped to one of the posts and then wrapped around and back. All right, so here's what the final setup looks like once the potatoes, they come to about right here somewhere. Once the plants start growing up, I'll just on each side, I'll bring that string around and just have it tied in over here, and then just kind of work my way up a few levels so when they're growing up, they don't flop over into that way, or the same over there. So it'll just keep them tied into the middle. So we'll experiment with that and see how it works.